Hello there, welcome to Jenny's Models. My name is Bobby Waldron and welcome to this tutorial where we're going to be taking a look at doing bleaching with some airbrushing. So let's get down to it. So here is our model. We've already done some pre-shading. As you can see, we've got our top colour on. So I've just actually finished going off and putting that top colour on, which is, what colour was that again? That was our H307. Now we want to transfer this to a smaller needled airbrush, because what we've got here, we've got the Harder & Steinbeck, the Infinity, which has a 0.4mm needle in, but we're going to be using the HPBH by Iwata. This has got a I can't remember, I think it's a 0.2, not a 0.15, but it's a smaller needle either way for getting in a bit more precise. So I'm just actually going to transfer this mixture rather than waste it into here, right? And I'll clean that airbrush later on. Now when it comes to bleaching, it's not something that we want to be so in your face and profound. So and what we want to do is we want to change the color. So we're going to go off and get out some H11, some white, right? And we're just going to add a little bit of this to the mixture. So where's my paintbrush? Now when it comes to the colors as well, I mean, for example, you know, grays is quite simple, you know, just add some white. But when it comes to colors like, say, green, you might want to add maybe yellow instead of white, that kind of thing. Now you only want to add a bit, we don't want to go too overboard, we just want to lighten the original color. Right, so we just want to try and get that just right. So maybe another little dollop. So quickly clean our paintbrush and we'll go for another little blob of white. And I think that should be a nicer, lighter shade of our grey. Right, now what we also want to do after kind of making our colour now, pretty kind of easy so far, is add more thinners. Now the whole point of adding more thinners, which we're going to be adding the Hobby Colour thinners to this one, the whole point of this is it's all about kind of keeping it nice and transparent and making it easier for you to basically not make mistakes. Ooh, that's probably maybe too much I've poured into there, but we'll see how we get along. So yeah, by making it transparent, it just means that we're not going to go off and just put a big blob of, you know, a lighter shaded color and it's going to kind of stand out too much. We want it to be sort of feathered. We want to have that control, and the way we're going to be able to do that is by having our paint thin down that little bit more. Right, so I'm just blasting that through. So let's bring you in now and let's sort of start to apply this to the model. And this should be quite a subtle sort of technique, really. Let's try and get you in as close as we can. And what we basically want to do here is try and fill in where we've got all our flat areas, right? So I'm not talking about recessed panel lines or anything like that. We are going off and all our flat areas, sort of not quite fill them in. I mean, I used to go off and sort of fill them all in, and you ended up with, like, you know, lots of just, you know, lighter spots. Right, I'm kind of trying to mottle it, you know, doing figure of eights and different shapes, as you can hopefully see, just to sort of start to get this mottled lighter colour. It's a bit maybe hard to see on camera, I don't know if we can get that right. Just done a little bit more off camera just to sort of hopefully sort of show you this effect. But what you should see is this kind of bit of a light sort of mottled bit of bleaching that goes on top, just to sort of represent that whole, you know, fading in the sun and then all sorts of bits of weathering of the paintwork. Right, so hopefully you can just see that just there. Now, you may find yourself in a position where oh okay, maybe you haven't put enough white, say, in your paint because it's not kind of showing up as much as you'd like it to, or maybe you need, or maybe it's showing up too much, you know, just add extra white, add extra thinners depending on what you need to do. But it's one of these, you kind of want to, I suppose it's personal preference. I mean, the more sort of bold you sort of go with it, you know, the more it's going to come out. But like, you know, the less you do it, the less bold it's going to be. And it is kind of like a personal preference, or depending, you know, what kind of aircraft is it? Is it a frontline aircraft? You know, I mean, this one here, you know, being out at sea, the salt air and stuff, I mean, they do tend to look a bit more weathered than normal, right? So I mean, you know, you might want to go a little bit further, say with an FA-18, right? But there you go. Hopefully you could just see that nice bit of bleaching inside of the panel lines, and that is basically your bleaching. So that's bleaching. Hopefully you have enjoyed. If you want to go check out some more tutorials or any build videos, please check out the Genesis Models website, where you'll find loads and loads more videos on building scale models. So as always, until next time, my name's Bob Waldron, this is Genesis Models, and I'll catch you later.